name is Gene. This is my 2016 Viper ACR. I've always been into cars, something that's been a huge passion of mine. My family says that I must have been born with a Hot Wheel in my hand. I eat, sleep, I think about it all the time. So when they came out with the Dodge Viper back in the early 90s, I thought it was probably the most amazing car ever. So one thing they don't know about the Viper is they do consume a little bit of oil, some more than others. And that's something I learned with the first Viper coming down Dominigoni. And we hit about 180, and all of a sudden, it just died on me. Long story short, Dodge is really good about it. They put a new motor in it, but it just wasn't right. It didn't feel as personal as it did as when I bought it. So they took it back, gave me back every penny that I put into it. And then a month later, I put in my order for the ACR. I came across Todd at AC Performance. I got to know his reputation around the Viper industry. He finally did a couple of heads cam package cars. And at the time, I was like, okay, I'm ready, let's do it. A month later, I had my heads cam package car. I made a little bit over 7 to the wheel. Well, I'm not a race car driver, but I do have a good friend named Andre who has got a TA 2017 who is a great driver. And we went up to Formosa Raceway about a year ago. I said, I'm gonna pretty much blow his doors off. What I didn't know was that, one, he's a driver, so he knows where his cars are. And number two, I didn't know where my sweet spot was on my car, so he spanked me. So at almost 100 horsepower more than his car, I was like dumbfounded. So I went back to Todd, and I said, Todd, I'm not a driver. I don't plan to be a driver. I just want to drive the car and have a good time. So how can we get rid of this lag? And he goes, let's go over rear gears. So we threw 373s in this. I got used to the heads and cam package and the horsepower. And I said, let's move on to the next thing. He goes, all right, well, let's put a supercharger in it. So we put in a supercharger by D3. It's a Pro Charger. We put a fuel system in it with 2 different pumps that rotate based on the demand of the horsepower and what you're driving at the time. But the horsepower on this is so amazing with the gears in the back, so tight. It's hard to explain how your chest just brings you back into the seat. Obviously, I've poured everything into this car. This is something that I've always been a dream of mine to achieve in life. This is something I would probably never part with. Fast Company is a group of guys that have unique cars. Mopars in particular, fast, low, nice. And we've pretty much been pretty well rooted in the Mopar community now, which has always been my passion since I can remember. Some of my earlier Hot Wheels were Chargers and Challengers and the 69s and the 70s and 71s, the Cudas and so on and so forth. We have the Viper. So as you know, Justin puts on the local car scene. We've been a huge supporter. I've known Justin for a few years. One of the biggest shows we always attend is the iBox show. One of the things I like about Justin's shows is that they're very personal. Everybody there is like family. Everybody knows you. It's a friendly atmosphere. It's a really laid-back environment. And not only that, one of the things I admire about Justin is he's always in support of people. Anything that people need help or charity events. And that's one of the things I admire about him. One of the biggest things I admire about him is that I didn't know how young he was. And to me, he sounds a lot more mature, and the things that he thinks about are, it's something that's always been very impressive for me, and how he's always helping out the community. So we're always gonna be a big part of him and his shows.